Everyone else is watching, and they're seeing these big negative numbers, and their confidence gets affected.
They are ping-ponging back off each other.
People are seeing this, and those memories of fear are coming back.
The market didn't work. It broke down. The machines broke down.
Fear came back into the market in a very big way.
This is the most significant financial crisis in the post-war period.
There are fears the sell-off will continue.
Irresponsible loans to homeowners, permitted them to buy property on margin. Then the housing prices collapsed, the mortgages couldn't be paid, and the banks essentially became insolvent.
The collapse of Bear Stearns was catastrophic.
The year 2008 was one of the most distressing years for the whole world's economy in the history, starting from the real estate crash to the collapse of Lehman Brothers and also the exposure of the Satyam Scam in India. In this video, we'll understand how the things were carried out and how they are interrelated to each other. And also at the end of the video, we'll learn the lessons we get from these cases and how can we avoid such financial losses. During the late 90s and the early 2000s, US government introduced a scheme to provide housing for everyone. For this, they reduced the interest to a very low level. And due to reduced interest, people started taking home loans to build their houses by keeping their land as mortgage to the banks. As the time passes by, the demand for the loans increases. And for this, the banks started to give subprime loans. Subprime loans are such loans which are given by the bank to people who could barely repay the loan. Everybody were purchasing homes, and due to this increased demand of homes, the price of real estate started to boom extraordinarily, up to the extent when people could no longer afford to buy houses, and hence the demand of the real estate started to decrease. The people who took subprime loans started to default on their loans, and the bank begins to auction their mortgage houses. In this scenario, there was an increase in the supply of houses while the demand of the house was very low, and hence the price of real estate crashed in 2008. And this crash not only affected the real estate industry of the USA, but it also had a ripple effect all over the world. Lehman Brothers was one of the oldest financial institutions, and during the early 2000s, it became the top 4th largest investment banks in the United States. To begin further, let us understand what is an investment bank. An investment bank is a type of financial institution which provides service to the companies, such as being an underwriter, helps in financial management, helps in mergers and acquisition, valuations, etc. It also helps investors to find an investment opportunity in startups and various other companies. So basically, investment company is a service provider for other companies. During 1999 and 2000s, these investment banks discovered a new way of earning profits from the real estate market. Lehman Brothers were one of the first investment banks to create a complex financial product to enter into the real estate market of the USA. They are named as Collateral Debt Obligation or CDO. So what is a CDO? Let's understand the concept of CDO. A bank provides home loan to a customer, and in return it keeps their property as mortgage. An investment bank will take loans from other banks and they will buy the mortgage properties from the bank. So the bank got the money for those mortgages. Now the investment bank have all the mortgage properties. The investment bank will create a financial instrument and it will create an opportunity for other investors to invest in those instruments. Indirectly, investment bank will create an opportunity for investors to invest in real estate and take benefit of the price appreciation. And the investment bank will charge a fee from the investors. Back in the story, Lehman Brothers was doing fine with their CDOs. Their market cap and revenue skyrocketed within few years, and they created a prominent name in the Wall Street. The operation of Lehman Brothers was concentrated upon the real estate market, which was booming as we discussed earlier, and they themselves also started to invest in real estate market heavily. Everything is going fine until the bubble burst at 2008. The prices of real estate started to decrease due to fall in demand. This led to decrease in the value of CDOs because those instruments were created based upon the real estate investment. The investors' money was drained out completely. Lehman Brothers themselves hold a number of CDOs whose value literally came to zero. They poured all their money in real estate investment, which collapsed. They could not pay back the loans that were taken from the banks, which led the banks to lose billions of dollars. After such fall, Lehman Brothers went to the US government to seek help. Basically, when a big company falls in trouble, the government tries to support it because they are considered too big to fail. The fall of big companies could lead to potential unemployment, loss of economy, and also it could have a cascading effect on the others. But in this case of Lehman Brothers, the US government did not help them. And on September 2008, Lehman Brothers finally filed their bankruptcy and was considered bankrupt. And this is how one of the oldest investment bank and the fourth largest investment bank of the United States finally collapsed. Now let's come back to India and recall the most infamous scandal which shook the Indian stock market. And many of you might have guessed it correct. Yes, we are talking about the Satyam Scam. Satyam Computers was founded in 1987 by Ramalinga Raju, being the promoter and chairman of the company. Gradually, Satyam Computers became to grow rapidly and it became the fourth largest IT company in India. Satyam Computers was also listed in American and as well as Indian stock exchanges. Everything was going fine, but until 2009, when Ramalinga Raju suddenly confessed that they have been performing malpractices in the company and also fraudulently maintaining their financial statements. And everything came to an end after that. But how suddenly the top fourth IT company in India crashed within a few times? Let's understand it. Satyam Scam did not take place in 1 or 2 days. They took years of malpractices which led to the outburst of the scam. The promoter Ramalinga Raju inflated the figures of financial statements fraudulently by issuing fake sale invoices and bills. This led to create a positive sentiment among the investors, which led to increase the valuation of the company and hence increase in the wealth of Raju, since Raju was holding the majority of the company. During the early 2000s, when the real estate sector was booming, Raju wanted to take the opportunity of this rising sector. So he created several shell companies in the name of his family members, friends, and even in the name of his driver and even gardeners, and made them the CEO of those respective companies. Like this, he created more than 200 shell companies. He started to acquire lands in the name of those shell companies. For this, he needed money. He took loan from banks by pledging the shares of Satyam Computers, and he further forwarded the loans to his shell subsidiaries, which was then used to acquire the lands. It was believed that Raju already got the blueprints of the metro routes even before it was sanctioned, which helped Raju to purchase the lands accordingly. Raju's plan was to buy the land at low price and then sell it at a high price to earn a decent gain. But unfortunate for him, the real estate market crashed even before he could sell his properties. The value for his properties fell rapidly, which trapped Raju very badly. Moreover, he had to pay back the loans which he took from the banks. Unable to cover up the situation, he finally convinced in 2009 about all the wrongdoings and also the involvement of the auditor, which was PwC, a reputed Big Four firm at present date, for issuing false audit report. After such news, the share price of Satyam Computers fell rapidly, which led investors to lose billions of dollars. Legal actions were taken against the promoters who were involved in the scam, and the company Satyam Computers was finally liquidated. So this was the story of the infamous collapses of two big giants, and which is related to the same crisis, that is the real estate market crash. Now we understood both the cases, but what lessons can we learn from these cases as a retail investor? Stay away from overhyped events. There are certain events that occur which are being overhyped. People get the fear of missing out which led to the overvaluation of the price. Such overvaluation of the price are referred with the term bubble, which enlarges up to some extent and finally bursts, crashing everything. Some of the common bubbles are dot-com bubble, tulip mania, real estate bubble, and crypto. Whenever such situation happens, do your own study and analyze the situation. If you believe with your common understanding that the situation is being overhyped, then stay away from it. Risk management is necessary. No matter whether you are a retail investor or an institutional investor, a proper risk management is a basic need. Both the Lehman Brothers and the Satyam Promoters put all their money into one asset class only, that is the real estate. So when the real estate collapsed, their all money got swept away. Proper allocation of funds is necessary across different assets. Even though when big crisis occurs, everything collapses, but a basic risk management might save your money up to some extent. Stay away from debts. Stay away from debts until you are very sure about the risk of the investment. Loan comes with a cost, that is interest, which is fixed in nature. That means even if your business fails or investment crashes, you have to pay the interest. So avoid taking loans until you are very sure about the risk you are taking, or it is almost a win-win situation or a very risky investment for you. So this was all about today's video. I hope you got some real useful information. If you guys like the video, give the like button and subscribe the channel, and also comment down if any topic I should make a video in. Until then, see you in the next video.